Making the most of all you are given isn't about you alone, so you shouldn't have to figure it out alone. With expert solutions that can help you live a life that's rich beyond money. See how your money can do more. Text THRIVE to 444-855.
Hey man, it's a good thing that mushroom people knew we was out here tonight. After a day like we had, man, it's cool just to sit on and watch television. Yeah, and you bought my truck and do it.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Just keep it going.
Nobody takes down Angel Snub 7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angel Snub 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angel Snub 7. If you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecue. if you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Why aren't you helping me get this message across? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people excuse the language. Some people just like talking out their ass. That's what they like to do.
Donation icon. I got the answer. I can handle the hard question.
See, they say that Angel Step Number 7 don't care about the people. But Angel Step Number 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth. And I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Tragedies. Wrote a song about it, like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Yes. Oh, I need that. Got to have that. It's mine. Everything. I love my things.
Are you alright?
Come on then. We will not be defeated by each doctor's illusions.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
The Mississippi campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy, create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You think you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi campaign.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fears? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said was yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we shed before? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, this weeping shore?
Just keep it going.
How did the earth come? Who gives a damn? We are here. Learn how to live, learn how to love other human beings. Learn how to have appreciation and respect for the earth, animal life, and the grass, and the tree.
in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it, like the hit. Here it goes. Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What dear?
Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
You know, I was wondering.
I'm still subscribed to your channel. You haven't put nothing on your channel, I guess, lately.
Yeah, but I've been thinking about like talking about real life subjects on my channel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like
Well,
things
you know-
like that. Just been thinking of some ideas.
Oh, well, we can come up. I can come up with some junior reality stuff that we can talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in love, you say that you wanna be mine and you're gonna feel love never felt before. This is the beginning of love with no ending. To love, time cannot erase. But I've waited all night for love to find the place. 'Cause I'll make that soul sacrifice. Our love it will sustain. Girl, you got me stoned in love. I'm stoned in love with you. Oh, you got me so stone, so in love. You got me stone in love, stone in love with you. Oh, you got me so stone, so in love.
Now this is the 1970s, and they was talking about, these young boys was talking about, yeah man, I'm gonna take my hoe, take my bitch to the movies later on. We gonna go down to the Dairy Queen later on. I'm gonna take my hoe, take my bitch. I didn't like, he was part of that conversation. Now I did not like that when he was making reference to this young lady as a hoe and a bitch, because I know that's not what she was about. But you know, you want to show off in front of your other friends and the other boys, and they calling their girlfriends hoes and bitches. They did not talk about, this is my future wife, I love her, this is my hoe, this is my bitch. Now I did not like that. Now here are some young teenage boys, including myself. 1970, we calling our sisters hoes and bitches. I did not do that. I've never been that way, never. Where do you think they're getting this from? Some of them got this from watching those black exploitation movies. I never watched those movies. I just recently saw some of those type of films. They watch some of these black exploitation these pimp movies. So that's where they got hoes and bitches from. But also grown ass men. Because I know grown ass men came to me calling sisters hoes and bitches. And they wanted me to do that. And I would not get involved in that type of crap. I've always had respect because that's who raised me. My mother, I view women as very strong. I saw them as stronger than the men around me.
This video is for the Reality Temple on Earth.
Shout out to the Reality Temple on Earth on IG.
We love watching it.
Yeah, we really do.
We send love, peace, and soul. Good evening, soul brothers and sisters. This is Tangi Cox, the Black Sheep, and I am propositioning you to entertain just a little while of being in reality. And this is gonna hurt soul sisters and brothers because a lot of us cannot accept reality. I empower you to, for 1 year, to subscribe to the Reality Temple on Earth. And at the end of 12 months, draw your conclusion of what have you learned in that amount of time. I empower you. You will never, ever, ever think, feel, or entertain nonsense ever again, period. I would like to see my soul sisters and brothers awaken. This requires time. You need to spend about a year watching, researching, and looking. Reality Temple on Earth is life-changing, and I stand on that.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. When that shit is on, let me drop some shit like this here. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn, candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Four walls just staring at a nigga. I'm paranoid, sleeping with my finger on the trigger. My mother's always stressing I ain't living right, but I ain't going out without a fight. See, every time my eyes close, I start sweating, and blood starts coming out my nose. It's somebody watching me at, but I don't know who it is, so I'm watching my back. I can see it when I'm deep in the covers. When I awake, I don't see the motherfucker. He owns a black hat like I own, a black suit and a cane like my own. Some might say take a chill, B, but fuck that shit. There's a nigga trying to kill me. I'm popping in the clip when the wind blows. Every 20 seconds got me peeping out my window, investigating the joint for traps. I'm taking my telephone for text. I'm staring at the woman on the corner. It's fucked up when your mind's playing tricks on you. right. I feel I'm being down by the same sucker's headlights. Look at that move that I ran off the block. Was it that nigga last week that I shot? Was it the one I beat for $5,000? Thought he had cane, but it was gold, not a flower. Reached under my seat, got my brother for the suckers. Ain't no use in the line. I was scattered than a motherfucker. With the left and the Popeyes and then I quick. If it's going down, let's get this shit over with. Then they come, just like I figured. I got my head on the motherfucking trigger. When I saw him, make your ass start giggling. 3 blind, crippled, and crazy senior citizens. I live by the swamp. I take my boys everywhere I go because I'm paranoid. I keep looking over my shoulder, peeking around corners. My mind is playing tricks on me. Day by day it's more impossible to cope. I feel like I'm the one that's doing dope. Can't keep a steady hand because I'm nervous. Every Sunday morning I'm in service, praying for forgiveness and trying to find an exit out the business. I know the Lord is looking at me, but yet and still it's hard for me to feel happy. I often drift when I drive, having fatal thoughts of suicide. Bang, get it over with. And then I worry free, but that's bullshit. I got a little boy to look after, and if I die, then my child will be a bastard. I had a woman down with me, but to me it seemed like she was down to get me. She helped me out in this shit, but to me she was just another bitch. Now she's back with her mother. Now realizing that I love her, now I'm feeling lonely. My mind is playing tricks on me.
This year Halloween fell on a weekend. Me and Ghetto Boy were trick-or-treating, robbing little kids for bags, till an old man got behind our ass. So we speeded up the pace, took a look back, and he was right before our face. He be in for a squabble, no doubt. So I swung and hit the nigga in his mouth. He was going down, we figured, but this wasn't no ordinary nigga. He stood about 6 or 7 feet. Now that's the nigga I be seeing in my sleep. So we triple teamed on him, dropping them motherfucking bees on him. The more I swung, the more blood flew. Then he disappeared, and my boys disappeared too. Then I felt just like a fiend. It wasn't even close to Halloween. It was dark as fuck on the streets. My hands were all bloody from punching on the concrete. Goddamn, homie. My mind is playing tricks on me.
Afternoon. It's Saturday. Welcome to the Soul Train. Now, I did have this talk scheduled for tomorrow. But as you know, we always don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Tomorrow is not promised to us. So I figured if I'm going to be true to that, and also Saturday is our day, not Sunday. Let me go ahead and get this together. Get it on the Soul Train And let's roll down the tracks. So we're here. And I thank you so much. Deacons of Reality, Mellow Cap, Small Talk, Just Acting, Tafari Smith, Angela Hines, Phil Fox, Razzie Fry, Z-Mad, Denzel, Brother Talib. I thank you so much. It's an honor. And without your support, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be here, because I would be here with nobody, but it's much better when we have allies, when we have friends who think and move and groove the way we do. I thank you so much for your help. I thank you so much for your support. I want to send a shout out to our Instagram, our Facebook. Shout out to our sister Tangi and our godson Josiah and her daughter India. Thank you so much for joining the Realities Temple on Earth platform. And of course, we have been sharing a lot of the voice of our sister Tangi. And you have been approving her message and supporting our sister. And I thank you in her behalf. Well, actually, she's made videos thanking all of you for supporting her. Unlike some other people in the past, they didn't thank you for tongue tie. They did not thank you for nothing. They just took. We don't want to deal with that kind anymore. We don't want to keep ourselves long. I'm very sure that there are other things that we probably need to get done on a Saturday. A shout out to our Deacon Twin. I think he's at a doctor's appointment, but thanks to technology, until he actually gets into that seat, chances are he's still going to listen to what is going on here on this live stream. I believe the word is precarious. I really don't even know what the hell that word means. I just hear it a lot. Precarious. I'm going to use it. Don't even know what the hell it means. That's I just heard it. Somebody looked that word up. This is how I'm going to use it. We are in a very precarious position. Where we are like the Jesus of the Bible, where Jesus is said to have a government upon his shoulder. And actually, our situation is worse because we have more than a government. We actually have a world upon our shoulders. Because this world is rooted and is founded in fairy tales and delusions, mythology. And this has been going on for a long, long time, for centuries. But here we are, this little channel, this little group. How dare we defy? How dare we question what has been in this world for thousands of years? How dare you want to bring reality? Well, because of this challenge, because of what we bring, a world is on our shoulders. A hateful world. Because to bring reality means the end of what they have been believing, and their societies and their civilizations are founded upon slavery and fairy tales and mythology, delusions. And there are many people who benefit from these things. They don't want it to go. They don't want to lose all this. How dare we come from out of nowhere? But see, it's time. If the human being expects to grow and truly evolve, all these things must go away. It even talks about it actually in the Bible. It talks about how this God wants to bring in a new world, but before the new world can come into existence, the old things must pass away. And all these things are part of the old world. Why must it pass away? It must pass away because it's detrimental. It must pass away because it has proven itself not to be good for the development of the human being. It is not good for the welfare of this planet, period. It must go. Now, the earth is not going to go nowhere. But we, as human beings, we can be here tomorrow, or we here today, we can be gone tomorrow. Who knows how many life forms, perhaps even life forms just as smart or smarter than we are, and we call them aliens, extraterrestrials, but they were beings or that existed prior to ourselves, and maybe they were dumb asses. And they destroyed themselves, like we are on a path to self-destruction. Now, there are natural disasters, universal phenomena that can happen to this planet that will wipe out much life on this planet. And this has happened on the earth, but also there is self-destruction. Sometimes life does not mean to be self-destructive. You can put too many animals in a spot and they eat and they eat and they eat, but the land cannot renew itself to maintain the population, and those animals starve to death and may go extinct. This has happened. It's happened in the past, it's happening now. A lot of it is man-made because, as you know, human beings are pushing animals off of land that they need in order to survive. And they begin to go extinct. This is the time, or we call this the age of information. We call this the age of critical thinking. So what we bring, we're not trying to be hateful. We're not trying to be disrespectful. But these things time has decided they must be challenged. We are on time. And if it is not us, it's going to be somebody. These things must be questioned. These things. The only one who don't like questions are those who are trying to hide something. What are you trying to hide? You're trying to hide that what you call a reality is not. What are you trying to hide? I am using these things to exploit the people so I can make money off of them, to enslave their mind. You do not want them to be truly free. Those days are coming to an end. Either the human being, we are going to go extinct, regardless of race. I know some of y'all think because of your race, you're special. Well, you're not. You're not special. Whatever affects one human being will affect another. This war in Ukraine not only affects Russia and the Ukraine, it affects many on the planet. There are those who are starving in South Sudan, Africa, and in Ethiopia because the Europeans, the Africans ain't doing a damn thing, to my knowledge. The Europeans, they cannot get the food and the resources because of the war. So they can continue their humanitarian activities in the Sudan and Ethiopia, where the Pan-Africans here in America ain't doing a damn thing for them. Every report I see, no matter where I go, I do not see Africans trying to help the starving in Africa. And this war in Ukraine is affecting those humanitarian efforts. COVID-19 is a prime example. Don't care what your race is. Don't care how old you are, how much money you got. Affect the whole world. The human being, you're not going to be saved. Your special race, you're not going to survive. You might not be the first to go extinct, but you're on your happy ass way out. Believe it or let it alone. I don't care what you believe. Caught up in all this race garbage, I'm so special. We all end up in the graveyard. How special are you? That's how we arrive at spirituality. Because we all end up at the cemetery. And fear of death has caused us to say, like the ghetto boys, my mind playing tricks on me. My mind playing tricks on me. Let's talk about spirituality. Because we have people, they mock religion. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Jew. I'm spiritual. Tomato, tomato. It's the same stuff. The only real difference between spirituality and religion One is organized, one is not organized. It's individualized to how we look at spookism, because it's all spookism. It's all not real. So what make you think you better than somebody in organized religion? You may not give your money to some specific divine person, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but you still spooky. You still believe in the supernatural. There's only one place you can find the supernatural, and that's in fictional writings. Fiction. There is no such thing as supernatural. So they call him Superman. Superman is not real. There's no man that can fly, leap over tall buildings in a single bound and bullets bounce off. That's not real. Unless you're wearing some kind of bulletproof vest or something like that. There's no Superman from Krypton. That's fiction. It's not real. How would you explain, if Superman was real, how do you explain a person being able to just fly with no jetpack, no wings, just take off flying? How scientifically, how could you explain that? In the world of fiction, you don't have to explain nothing because it's not real. Just do it. But in the real world, it has to be a reason. How do you do that? You can go and research, and scientists have figured out how birds fly, how insects fly. They have lighter bones. The wings are made a certain way. It's a reason why they can fly. But when it's not real, you can't explain that scientifically. Spirituality is spookism. Let's break the word in half. You have spirit and you have rituality. Spirit, rituality, ritual. Worship of the spirit or worship of the dead. Spirituality has its origins, its foundations in worship of the dead, fear of death, fear of the unknown. That's where spirituality comes from. Because ancient people were afraid. They didn't understand. And these things was created because even right now, this can't be all it is. I'm just born, then I die, and that's the end. I refuse to believe it. So they make up, fabricate another life because they cannot handle the reality like all life on this planet. Blade of grass, a sheep, a flea, a bird. You come into this life, you live for a few minutes, and you're gone. That's it. You go back into non-existence from where you came from. You didn't exist. We are living matter. There's more in the universe that's not alive than living. On this earth, for some reason, these chemicals were able to bond with each other and end up creating what we call life. But life is not consistent. Even on this planet, it's more non-living on this planet than it is living. We're nothing but, when they talk about conscious energy, that's who we are. We are a mass of matter. And because we have developed a brain, we are conscious energy. Without the brain, the energy has no conscious. In order to be conscious means to be aware. Electricity is energy. It's not alive, it has no brain. Fire is energy. Nuclear power is energy, but it has no conscious. It's not alive, it has no brain. We are living matter. We are living water. Without water, we die. Without the sunlight, we die. You take those away, we die. There's something about mixing water and sunlight at the right amount that causes life. You can do a quick experiment yourself. Just go to your sink, get a glass of water, and with the naked eye, it's clear. Clear water. You drink it all the time. Put that water in the sun, and the first thing that would happen, it would begin to turn green. That's plant life, algae. Where it come from? Next thing you know, you have little worms. Where those little worms come from? Moving around in the glass. Where they come from? We are nothing but a more evolved life form. No different than the little algae in the glass and the worms in the jar. We want to believe that we're much higher, we're better. That's all we are. We're nothing but living chemicals, living matter. And we go out. Fire goes out. The electricity will stop. It goes out. It is false to say energy does not die, because it does. Because energy needs to feed on something in order to be active. Anything that becomes inactive, we say it dies. But see, we don't want to believe that. Well, in science and physics, well, they're telling us a damn lie. Where does the energy go? Where do it transform into? If we can't use it, it's dead. If it's not active, it's dead. Look, we come into the world knowing nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nobody here that's going to come on this live stream. Matter of fact, I will put the link, because I will put the link in the chat room, because I want somebody to come here and tell us a lie. I want somebody to come and tell us a lie. The link is in the chat room because I want you to come on this live stream and tell us that you had knowledge coming into this world. All of us come into this world knowing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your body is reactionary. The baby's body automatically knows to seek the breast. The digestive system digests. You can hear, you can feel, you can touch, but you don't know nothing. I don't know how young we are when we begin to memorize things. I myself, I can't go that far. And usually in order to remember something, it has to be really, really special, something to make you remember. I can't go way back when I was 5 and 4 years old and stuff like that. I don't remember too much about those things. But you don't know nothing. So that means our mind is a blank slate. There's no spirituality there. There's no baby showing no signs I'm spiritual or I'm religious. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Jesus. There's no, matter of fact, one of the first words that babies say is probably mommy and daddy. They recognize who's taking care of them. That's your mama. That's your daddy. And then later on, they might say brother and sister. They do not, I've never heard of an infant coming to this world making reference to another life. I was Cleopatra in another life. This is what spirituality, this is what religion, this is what they want us to believe. Oh, wow. This is what spirituality and religion want us to believe. We do not know nothing. And if you don't teach the child religion, if you don't teach them spirituality, where are they going to get it from? It comes from the human source. I'm getting ready to get my afternoon feeding. If your brain is clean, there's nothing there. Just like your computer. When we get our computers, they don't have nothing. Exactly. When we buy our computers and cell phones, they don't have nothing until you begin to put your information, what you want your cell phone or your laptop to have. It's blank. So the only way this baby can become spiritual has to be programmed. The only way this baby can become religious, you got to be programmed. Because that's not natural. Religion and spirituality is man-made. You don't have to teach a baby how to cry, how to breathe, make the heart beat, take a dump. Woo, and some of these babies is, woo, they foul. Some of these new babies I've been around, they take a dump. Their dump smell worse than grown people. I'm like, woo, maybe you did live another life. Woo, that baby. Oh Lord. Maybe you grown now. Some of these babies dump smell so bad. Yeah, you was in another life. Oh Lord. So you know nothing. It's a programming. Exactly. Now, when you think about, when I think about spiritual people, we're not talking about religious. We're talking about these spiritual people. When I think about spiritual people, I think about somebody who has evolved higher. They're on a higher level than the average person on the street because they practice meditation. They know how to control their breathing and they got control. They understand the higher and lower vibrations and the chakras and all this fancy talk they do. So I talk. Matter of fact, this morning I've talked to spiritual people. When you think about spiritual people, you think about folks, you know, brother, you don't understand the closeness to the ancestors, my brother. No. Shamalaka Humma Haya Shmaya Shamoilai. Look into the universe. Look into the universe. The moon circle around Jupiter and the earth and the water reaches up into the atmosphere and these fifth dimensions opens up. I'm leaving my body. I'm astral projecting into the next fifth dimension. You don't understand, my brother, because you don't know how to control your chakra. You understand your low and your higher vibration. And the thing about it is, if you don't believe what they're talking about, the Negro, that's who they really are. It will come out. All that vibration, chakra, and love and peace stuff, they start calling you all out your name and hope your mama dead. They just Negroes. But I thought you was on a higher vibration. Ooh, la la la, shoo la la la, la. Your spiritual ass is a joke. Ain't nothing spiritual about you. It's a damn lie. You're still a Negro. You have not evolved higher. You have not grown at all. It's a front. The closest you're going to really get to spirituality is probably meditation. And you have some people who have really learned how to control their emotions. They have really learned how to balance the inner conscious, whatever you want to call it. They do not act like these people here. They don't. But it's nothing spiritual. It's about just being able to control your emotions, your conscience, being able to understand your body. These persons have no idea. It's all a joke. Again, spirituality has its roots in worship of the dead. So they are afraid to die. They don't want to hear, they don't want to talk about, oh, you're going to die and that's the end. They don't, no. They don't want to hear that. They can't die. Here we are, human beings, the most destructive, violent life form on the planet. And you can't die. Now you're a fool, you're an idiot, you stupid, you selfish, and you arrogant. What make you think you're going to be any better because you die and go to another realm some damn where? You was a fool on a material level, and you are a damn fool on the spiritual level. What's going to change about you? You was an alcoholic in this life, and if you go to another life, you're still going to be a damn alcoholic. What's going to change you? Is there Alcoholics Anonymous in the spiritual world you can go to? You're still the same. You was a murderer, you was a rapist, you're a liar and a slanderer in the material world. What's going to make you any different on the other side? You was destructive here, you will be destructive and nasty wherever your happy ass go. Spirituality. Make people feel good. You didn't control and don't know nothing about your higher vibration or your lower vibration and your chakras. You don't know nothing about that right now, and you're not going to know nothing about that in the spiritual, in the other world. It's all lies that they want us to believe. Lies that some ancient illiterate people, see, this is what we have to understand. These are beliefs from ancient illiterate people who were afraid to die. They made up stories for the things they did not understand. And this is the thing about your brain. Woo! This is the thing about our brain. I will give you an example. Before there was VHS tapes, before there was DVDs, DVRs, whatever you want to call them. If you wanted to watch a certain old television program, you had to wait a long time. And one of the television stations, they would decide, I'm going to bring back a certain show. I wanted to see the old Batman show, the 1960 Batman show. Really, really bad. I wanted to see that show. They wouldn't play it on TV. And I kept thinking about that. That's all. I want to see Batman. Adam West and Burt Ward. I want to see Batman. I want to see that show. I kept thinking about that show so much. I went to sleep. And don't you know, I had a dream, and the dream was like it was real. I saw myself turn on the TV, and the Batman show played just like it was really playing on TV in real life. Wow. Commercials and all. Commercials and all. I watched Batman, a 30-minute show from beginning to end. Some of us lustful people, we're full of lust. You can think about a woman, think about her long enough, and she will appear in your dreams. And y'all have a good time because you programming your brain for that. Now, some of us, we get carried away because this can take us to a place where we think is reality. And next thing you know, I'm on here. I called Terry Ellis last night, and Terry told me to come to her house. That's not real. Then you cross the line into insanity. It's more than a dream. Now you want it. Now your brain is making you think that it's real. And you start to cross the line. But in your mind, it is real. Nobody can tell you that it's not real. It is. It's real to you. You force your brain, you cause your brain to fulfill your dreams. That's what you do. That's what you've done. I wish I could remember those lottery numbers when I won the lottery in some of these dreams. I won the lottery. I couldn't remember those numbers to save my life. If you fill your head with Jesus and Muhammad, if you really think that you can astral project out your body and there's other realms, you just keep thinking about those things. Our brain will make that for us. And it is real for you. I would never see it. Well, you know, twin, me and Terry got married. We've been married for the last few days. Twin look at me like, what? Because he won't be able to see. And there's nothing in reality that can verify. But in my mind, it's real. We got married. We've been married for the last couple of days. And it is real. Only to me. My brain wanted to satisfy something inside of myself, and it gave it to me. You want to be married to Terry Ellis? I will make that real for you. So in my brain, in my mind, we are married. But in the real world, I can't prove it to Twin Pyramid. Twin Pyramid says, show me the papers. Oh, I got the papers somewhere. We can get the papers. The papers never do show up. It is real, only to me. Not to the Dickens, not to Mello or Sister Ann. It is real, only to you. You cannot share it with nobody else. If it's real, whether you believe it or not, you can share it. This is real. This cloth, I can show and give it to Twin Pyramid or Sister Ann or you, any of you out there, because it's real. I cannot share my wedding bliss with Terry because it don't exist, only in my mind. And that's why people really, so that's why people really get caught up in spirituality, is because they don't understand the workings of the brain. They don't understand that the brain will manufacture whatever you are thinking about. You miss your mother. Your brain will cause you to dream. I dreamed about mama last night. Woo, but check this out. Now this is what really, gets people caught up in spirituality. Because not only can your brain make these images in your dreams, your brain can make these images in broad daylight. I can actually see Terry Ellis sitting right next to me. Broad daylight. And I can come on this live stream. Hey, y'all, Terry Ellis is with us today. How you doing, Terry? Put my arm around her. Y'all be looking at me like, what the hell is this cat talking about? That's how powerful the mind is. Now, when my mind was spooky, when my mind was spiritual, I tell you some things I saw. I saw a man in broad daylight down south in Mississippi. There was a church, and most of you who know about the South, you know many of those churches have their own graveyards, their own cemetery. They were having a funeral. It started raining real hard. They stopped the funeral. And I was watching the funeral. Broad daylight. I saw the body lift up out of the coffin. And it was a man, and he was looking around. Messed me up. Broad daylight. I was not dreaming. Broad daylight. The man that I tell you is my godfather next to Elijah Muhammad, Lionel Chavis. I was missing him. And, oh, this is the killer. I saw a light come on, and I looked down the hall, and he was sitting in the chair with the Elvis James Dean jacket he likes to wear all the time. See, this is the thing. When you see your deceased loved ones in an image, they always wearing the clothes that you remember them in. Because that's what your brain remembers. They appear just like you remember them. Spirits don't need clothes. Why was Lionel wearing clothes? Why was he in a jacket? They always appear in the manner that we remember. Because that's all your brain has. Your brain can't put clothes on your relative and the deceased people. There's no Macy's, there's no JCPenney's in the spiritual world. I told you a story about myself and my siblings. We were run over by a green truck. A truck is not alive, but a green truck ran myself and my siblings over. A truck is not alive. How can a truck be spiritual? A truck does not have a soul. This happened in broad daylight. We were not asleep. We were in separate rooms. And my siblings said, "Did you see that green truck?" I was just getting ready to tell you about it. Our brain. And see, our heads was filled up with all that spooky stuff. My grandmother constantly told us all these spooky stories. And we began to experience these things. I always dreamed about some spirit trying to pull me out of the bed. And when I wake up, I'm holding on to my bed like when I was in a dream, like something was pulling me out the bed. Our heads get filled with all this stuff. I'm very sure even a crackhead, the only thing on your mind is smoking crack. They dream about crack. Probably pretend like they actually see the crack and be sniffing, because your brain will make these things for you. That's why we really get caught up in spirituality, because we don't understand our brain. And also remember, ancient people were smoking weed. They were smoking and ingesting plants that was hallucinogenic, gave them hallucinations. That combined in their spiritual world. And if some of these hallucinations somehow they seem to be real and actually did connect to reality, it really blew your mind. I knew that was going to happen because the ancestors spoke to me. That's another thing they always like to say. The ancestors. Never give specific names. These dead ancestors talk to them. No specific name. Dead people. Dead people, if the ancestors can talk to you, they're not dead. The point of being dead is it's over. There's no life. They cannot communicate. It's over. Otherwise, they're not dead. But they're dead. They're not talking to you. They talk about the ancestors. They worship the dead. They give all this honor and praise to the dead. They give all this honor and love for the spiritual world, but don't give a damn about the life that you live right now, because they think they're going to go somewhere else. I think it would be wise to know that you can go somewhere else before you destroy and tear up the only thing that you know. I think that would be the wise thing. But they have programmed themselves, I'm going to a different place. And how do you know it's going to be better? It could be worse. They want to tell us about the spiritual realm and whatever. How do we know it's not going to be worse than what we got right here? Because the same idiots are going to be there. How is the spiritual world going to be better and the same idiots going to end up going there too? How? I don't get it. There is no spiritual world without the brain. How do you know there's a spiritual world? Because of the brain. Because the brain manufactured it for you. If not for the brain, the spiritual world don't exist. That's the only way that you know, because your brain, you program your brain to bring it into existence. And if you notice, everybody's spiritual world and understanding is different. If we live on the earth, everybody is experience going to be different because of where you live on the earth, but we all still have the same experience because this is the earth. But when you listen to the spiritual world, everybody's idea of what the spiritual world is different. Their experience is different. And if you notice, these people that claim, well, you know, you can astral project out your body. When they astral project out their body, they never meet nobody else who just so happened, hey, I'm astral projecting too. Oh, you can do it? Yeah. When did you learn how to astral project? Oh, man, 20 years ago. I've been flying all over the dimensions. Have you ever been to dimension EnVogue? No, I ain't never been to dimension EnVogue. I got to check that out. Well, keep a flapping, brother. Get your vibrations and your chakras together, and you can get on dimension EnVogue too. All right, I'll see you later. The whole thing sounds so silly and childish. We are adults who still need some kind of Santa Claus to believe in. How do the children know about Santa Claus? Because somebody taught them. If you didn't teach the child about Santa Claus, they wouldn't bring that up at all. Because we come into this world knowing nothing. So the brain is the power that caused us to be spiritual. Deacon said he's in Terry's room right now, astral projecting. Uh-oh, I think she just called security on you, twin. Now, they want us to believe in spirituality. They want us to say that spirituality is better than the material world. The only thing I see that spookism, spirituality can do, the only thing I can see is they know how to haunt houses. The only thing, when we talk about spirituality, the only thing we see is they know how to haunt houses. I wouldn't go to that house. There's spirits and ghosts. Don't go to that cemetery. There's spirits and ghosts. The only thing they know, okay, you die and become a spirit, and your only function and your only purpose is to scare people. Boo! Boo! What the? There's no power in spirit. You want us to be spiritual, and there's no power. What's the big deal? Well, one thing for sure, when you die, we will never see you again. That's for sure. We ain't gonna see you again. So you enjoy flying around, astral projecting, and that's such an arrogant mindset. Here we are. We have to breathe air. We carry blood. We got to take a dump. We special. We better than the goat and the flea and the blade of grass and the trees. We can't die. We special. I question a God that would make his worst creation, because that's what human beings are right now. I question a God that would give his worst creation everlasting life. I question a God like that. Because the human being has not earned immortality. And who would want to live forever anyway? What's the purpose of living? You never die. You just living. Just go on and on and on. What is your purpose? What is the purpose? What is the end game? You just live on and on and on. Especially in the manner that we know, that we're accustomed to. Why you just... I want to conclude with this last example of a lie. Spirituality is outrageous lies. They say that every baby that's born is the return of an ancestor. You're a damn lie. That's a lie. And somebody said, well, if that's true, why are we facing overpopulation? If the only thing we're doing is recycling. If the only thing we're doing is recycling, somebody died and the ancestor returned, how is overpopulation possible? Because we know that the number of people on the planet right now, that's not the original number of people on the planet. It's more. Stuff don't make any sense. That's why this ministry is here, and if it's not us, it's going to be somebody. These outrageous lies, they must be challenged. You die, and then your soul, you go into another body. I know I never was in another body. I don't know nothing about nothing like that. I ain't never been in another body. Matter of fact, I never asked to be here. How many of you asked to be here? None of us asked to be here. And when we come into this world, you and I know absolutely nothing. There's no infant. Every child on this planet had to be taught. You can be taught correctly, or you could be taught incorrectly. And that's what has happened to the human being. We have been taught incorrectly. We have been forced, and we force our brain to believe in crap that don't exist. And we wonder why we are in the situation that we're in, because unrealistic solutions, fantasy solutions, cannot solve real problems. And the human being is facing a real problem, which will result in your and my extinction. There's a lot of creeps, world leaders, and powers that need to be removed. That needs to be done. But they benefit from us being stupid, because I'm going to die. I'm just going to go. I don't care what Joe Biden do. I don't care what Putin does. I don't care what these leaders do, because I'm going to die and go to the next dimension. But even so, your children aren't going to the next dimension. They're going to be here. What about your children that you claim you love? See how selfish and arrogant we are? Greedy. It's all about us, what I want. All about me. And you wonder why we can't get anywhere. We're surrounded by so many greedy and selfish people. My personal opinion, I think extinction would be the best choice. And start all over from scratch, and maybe a new life that come up, maybe they would do better. Your air is poison. We think some solar panels and some batteries is going to solve our problem. Oh, the only thing you have to do is just make everything battery operated and solar panels. That's going to save us. Solar panels and batteries. Our problem is much, much bigger. But that's our savior. Solar panels and car batteries. And these solar panels and these car batteries create their own kind of poison and waste. And above all, the human being is not fixed. So it makes no difference what kind of car batteries and solar panels that you come up with. And the human being still craves drugs and alcohol and liquor. The human being is still a murderer and a rapist. You need to fix the human being. Because if you free your mind, the rest will follow. Anything else is just a show. Anything else is just a farce. So I know many of these people don't want to hear what we have to say. It doesn't make any difference. It's just like the people who did not want to hear about the car. Well, you know, cars, tractors, they can do much more than a horse can. I'm still riding my horse. I'm still riding my donkey. I don't want to talk on no telephone. I don't want no cell phone. You have older people right now. They don't like cell phones. They don't like credit cards right now. They don't use Cash App. There are people who don't want to change. And this is a change for the better, because these are ancient beliefs that are not credible. It's not real. We are adults. We should be dealing with the reality of our situation, not trying to escape reality, because that's all these things do for us. So don't be spiritual and make mockery of the crackhead and the weed head or the alcoholic, because that's all you are, escaping reality. The alcoholic and the crackhead, substance abusers, they use these things to escape reality. And you use religion and you use spirituality to escape the reality of our life. So you ain't no damn better. You just get drunk in a different kind of way. And just like crackheads don't want you to talk bad about crack. Alcoholics don't want you to talk bad about their liquor. Weed heads don't want you to talk bad about, man, I do my best thinking when I'm smoking my weed and drinking. They don't want you to talk bad about that stuff. But it's detrimental. It's not good. And keeping ourselves lost in these spiritual places that don't exist. I ask you, if there's such thing as a soul, put it in a jar so that we can see it. Bring your God to the live stream. That's all you got to do. We don't have to argue. We don't have to debate. If I'm telling you I am married to Terry Ellis, bring her on the live stream so that all of us, we can see her live in living color. Simple. There's nothing to argue and debate. When you see that she's here, man, Angel got Terry on the live stream. But if I keep telling you, when she's here, she gave me a call, I don't offer no evidence or no nothing, you're going to call me a liar. You don't believe me. So why are you shocked that people call you a liar? Because it's a lie. Until you can show clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence that is real. Show and prove. There's no need to argue. There's no need to debate. It's called belief. And you can believe that all you want to. But I'm not going to let you go out here and keep messing up little children's minds and other adults with your foolishness. It's not real. If you have the right to spread your lies, we have the right to challenge and expose your lies. Keep that bull doo-doo to yourself, and I'll be quiet. I won't even talk about it. But you're not. You're going to tell little children, well, you know, when you die, you're going to go into the spiritual and heaven and hell. You're going to keep spreading your damn lie. So it's my responsibility, my self-appointed responsibility, to expose your lies, because that's what it is. Outrageous, ancient, illiterate. You have to understand that ancient people were ignorant and they was illiterate. So they would believe anything. They didn't know any better. This is 2022. We should know better than that. This is not 5000 BC. It's not 5000 BC. I will be happy to debate anybody spiritual. You're not going to debate because you can't prove nothing that you're talking about. Enjoy yourself. Knock yourself out. It's not real.
keep it to your damn self. You will die, and that will be the end of that. Because it's not real. Anything that's real, when people die, it's still here. The earth is real. When you die, it's still here. If I die right now, the EnVogue poster is real. It's still going to be here. But all your claims of the spiritual world and all your spiritual experiences, all that dies with you because it's not real. And there's no evidence, there's no proof that's going to be left behind to show that it ever was. That makes you feel good, so be it. Just like crack makes some people feel good. Getting drunk makes people feel good. Eating a lot of food makes people feel good. That's your theory. But it's not real. And I'm not going to let you get away with telling that lie. It's a lie. If anybody believes that spirituality and all this religious garbage and some of these Pan-African pro-black teachings and scholarship, if that's real, I'll be happy to debate you anytime. I don't need to go to use science. I don't have to quote from a lot of books. We're just going to use common sense. Bring your God to the live stream. Put millions and millions of people have died. Put one of those souls in a jar or something so that we can see the soul, the spirit. I'll put it in a jar or something. There's no need to debate. There's no need to argue. There's no need to get mad. If it's real, it's easily proven. I have never been to Hawaii. I see pictures on TV, in magazines. I've never seen Hawaii. But there's enough evidence to suggest that Hawaii, a place called Hawaii, exists. And to verify, I can go buy a plane ticket. I want to go to Hawaii. That plane will take me to Hawaii. What plane is going to take me to your spiritual world, your spiritual realm? Let's stop with the lies. You are an adult. We are grown. This needs to come to an end. Needs to stop. So on that note, I want to thank you for listening. And again, we don't mean to disrespect or insult anyone. It's nothing personal. These beliefs are outdated. This is 2022. And they are going to be challenged. They are going to be questioned. No more of this stuff. Shout out to Soul Sister Tangi and Brother Josiah and Sister India. Instagram, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. The chat room, thank you for listening. Those who were listening this afternoon and those who will be listening to this broadcast at a later date. I would like somebody to make a debunk video and prove these things. It's a belief. It's not real. Another definition of spirituality is this belief of a connection to a supreme being. It's a belief. because you never see the Supreme Being. You never actually talk to the Supreme Being because it's not real. But if that what brings you comfort, so be it. But don't come out in the world and talking to people like it's real. At least crack cocaine is real. Budweiser is real. That joint that you're smoking, that's real. This stuff is not real. Enough said. On that note, again, it's always an honor to be with you. I appreciate it. I didn't want to put off tomorrow what I could do today. Plus, Saturday is our day. It's not Sunday. We're on the Soul Train. Soul Train run on Saturday, not Sunday. Sunday, we can give that to all the religious folks. Religious folks can have, and the spiritual folks, they can have Sunday. In the description box, if you would like to donate to this platform, you can. Angel Snubbing Up 7, $ Angel Snubbing Up 7, Cash App. Information is in the description box. If you want to check out my autobiography, the book, the link is in the description box. You can subscribe to the Deacons of Reality YouTube channel. Congratulations again to the Deacons, over 100 subscribers. Subscribe to the Deacons of Reality. Link is in the description box. And we got Brother Denzel has a question. Did you want to come live, or you want to put the question in the chat room, Brother Denzel? We're going to wait for this, for Brother Denzel had a quick question. If you want to come on live real quick, okay, he's going to put it in the chat. We are also looking forward to more videos from our sister Tangi. Also, I hope that our brother Khalil will come back, and of course, Brother Taalik. And there's another sister that I'm talking with. Hopefully, she will come and talk with us. Shout out to Brother ThÄ Morris, World TV Citizen. It's possible we will make another appearance on his platform. Shout out to ThÄ Morristown, Morris World. I don't know why I keep saying Morristown, Morris World TV Citizen. All right, we got the question. Brother Denzel says, do you think that the conscious community and I'm not sure, okay, and the belief in God is hurting? Oh, I guess you said this. Do you believe that the conscious community and the belief in God is hurting the Black community? That's how I'm transcribing the question. Let me keep the question up. Put the question back up there. Okay. I do not expect everybody to be like us. That's not a reality. These teachings and these beliefs have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, passed down from family to family. So I don't expect no time soon that so many will be like us, but we are the new human being. We are the human being that has evolved and accept reality. So that means we come up with real solutions. Fantasy, fairy tale, fictional solutions cannot solve real problems. Brother Denzel had a second part or continuation. They both argue with each other, and I understand that the church does help a little in the black neighborhood. This is what we need to learn how to do. We need to learn how to separate our personal beliefs, our personal wants from what is in the best interest of the whole. Christians, contrary to popular belief, Christians are more open to this than the black conscious community. You will find Christians more open to working together and unification than the black conscious community. The black conscious community, pro-black Pan-African community, they have an idea or a fantasy of what they want us to look like and to be. The sad thing about it is, even among themselves, they haven't figured out what they're really supposed to be. They don't really know. But in the meantime, we should concentrate on what we can agree upon and what is in the best interest of the masses. I'm not interested. You should not be interested in somebody's sexual orientation, what they believe in, or none of that stuff. Your number one priority should be making us a unified people. Because if we are not a unified people, then it don't mean anything. If we're not under a unified label where all the other identities can fall under, it does not mean anything. In the United States of America, you have the white community, black community, African community, or whatever. But when it's all said and done, we are all under the umbrella of the United States of America. And if anybody attack the United States of America, everybody here is expected to defend the United States of America. Regardless whether you believe in the government or what you believe, this is what you fall up under this umbrella. This is what we fail to accomplish and what we fail to understand. Everybody is Americans and everybody is in their different spots, living their life how they feel they want to live. But we are American citizens, whether you like it or not. You don't want to be an American citizen, then you can denounce your citizenship and leave. It's simple as that. I ain't no American. They don't treat me. That's nice. As far as the world is concerned, you are an American. You're not going to leave here and go to Mexico or Africa or nowhere. You are going to be considered an American. Stop with the bull doo-doo. Fantasy stuff. So the problem really is not religion or the ideology itself. It's people who cannot separate their personal wants because they're selfish from what is in the best interest of the masses. I don't care nothing about your morality. I don't care because you don't eat pork. If people want to eat pork, that's their business. If a sister want to wear weave, that's her business. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Your priorities is all messed up. You should be concentrating on what people can agree upon and what they are ready to do. In order to establish the top priority should be the unification of the people and a universal identity that all can be up under. That's why Soul Brothers and Sisters is the best choice to me. Because under Soul Brothers and Sisters has nothing to do with skin color. You can be high yellow. You can be dark and say it don't make any difference about skin color. It's about you are part of this family. That's what it's about. So it don't make no difference how dark you are. Or even if you biracial, who gives a damn? Y'all tripping on the stuff that caused us to be in this situation, which is racism. You should be happy anybody want to be part of us, our loser ass. People want to join you and help us win. Oh, you're biracial. You ain't tall enough. You ain't black enough. All this silly foolishness that we hold on to. You wonder why you can't get nowhere. And then you don't know how to make allies with people around the earth. First of all, you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing to offer nobody. Who want to be your ally? You don't have nothing to give nobody. What you gonna do? So the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign is a project that we can succeed to put us in a position where now we have something to offer. Instead of talk. Instead of, well, when you die, we're going to go to the next dimension. Nobody want to hear that stuff. Brother Denzel says that there is no hotel hustlers of the conscious community in the black neighborhood in Chicago. Those people in Chicago, they don't want to hear that stuff. You need to bring them real solutions because the problem is real. They don't want to hear that stuff. Chicago, New York, a lot of these places, the people are getting sick of this crap because they see it's not accomplishing nothing. Even the black pro-black community, they not united on nothing. Fussing and fighting and arguing amongst each other. The people are watching you. They're like, I don't want nothing to do with that. They've turned the struggle into entertainment. They've turned the struggle into a church. So they go listen to their favorite preacher, Farrakhan or Tariq Nasheed or Sanetta or Young Pharaoh or General Seti. Nothing but preachers. When you need a revolutionary, you need a liberator. That's what you need. You don't need no more preachers. You need somebody or people that's real that can bring real solution. And our problem will be solved. Will this happen? I don't know. It's a possibility. I don't know. The way it's going, I don't really see it. And maybe that's good. Maybe that's a good thing for us as a people to get what's coming to us. It's not pretty. Because the ultimate change in the world is gonna come. It could have been COVID. It can still be a result of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Still could be. We don't know. You're not prepared. You're waiting to go to the next dimension. Oh, well, you will be going quicker than you think. Scared ass. I'm spiritual. I'm not afraid to die. You don't see them in no rush. As soon as they get an illness, they're not going to say, just let me die. These religious folks talk about, I ain't scared to die because I know I'm going to heaven. As soon as they cough, they go get a cough drop. They go to the doctor. You're only lying to yourself. Life is all that we know. And it's natural for us to try to hold on to what we know as long as possible. Even ants and bugs and bears and dogs, all life on this planet will hold on to life as long as it's possible. That's all that we know. All these other things, if it's there, okay, all right. I thank you, Brother Denzel, for your inquiry. On that note, we're going to get out of here. I hope that your Saturday continues to be peaceful and we can stay out of trouble. And until the next spontaneous broadcast, to my chat room, to Facebook, Instagram, so Sister Tangi, her daughter India, and Brother Josiah, to those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on, I much really appreciate it. And until next time, like our ancestor Don Cornelius used to always say as in parting, I wish us love, peace, and food. We are out. Audi 5000.
That shit is on. Let me drop some shit like this here. At night I can't sleep. I toss and turn, candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Four walls just staring at a nigga. I'm paranoid, sleeping with my finger on the trigger. My mother's always stressing I ain't living right, but I ain't going out without a fight. See, every time my eyes close, I start sweating and blood starts coming out my nose. It's somebody watching me at, but I don't know who it is, so I'm watching my back. I can see him when I'm deep in the covers. When I awake, I don't see the motherfucker. He owns a black hat like I own, a black suit and a cane like my own. Some might say take a chill, B, but fuck that shit. There's a nigga trying to kill me. I'm popping in the clip when the wind blows. Every 20 seconds got me peeping out my window. Investigating the joint for tracks. Taking my telephone for text. I'm staring at the woman on the corner. It's fucked up when your mind's playing tricks on you.